Hey guys, it's Monday. Sitting out at the park with the puppies. Cold as fuck. Um, Read a few news articles before we went out for our walk and thought I'd get a couple of them off my chest. Uh, One of them was Republicans complaining about how votes are taking too long to count and that the whole process should be much faster and we should just have instant results. And while I would agree with that sentiment, um, you'd think with all the technology we had, shit would be a lot easier to process and verify. But you also have to remember that humans are also part of the process. And anytime a human is involved in a process, it's inherently fucked up. There's going to be problems. And I think a lot of it could be that they're taking their time to make sure everything gets done right so nobody bitches about how the votes swing one way or the other. Because if I'm not mistaken, it was Republicans who also drug out all of the fucking election counting in 2020 because their candidate lost. And they made it last forever because they didn't like the results. So you can't have it both ways, okay? You can't bitch because everything gets counted and then it's not your way. So for the next 4 months, you want to fucking drag it out and recount everything by hand, mind you, where most of the accidents are going to happen. You can't bitch that it's not fast enough and then bitch because it's not being done slow enough to make sure it's correct and everything's verified. So you need to go fuck yourself on that and just shut up until the votes are counted. Okay? Yes, I know when Al Gore ran, there was a big to-do about Florida in that election, and the reason that was an issue was because of the way the voting, uh, the voting paperwork worked, punching out holes and with chads and shit. Uh, that's a stupid method to do anyways. But also it was because that Florida was the last state to get counted, and it just so happened that one of the candidates had a brother who was governor of that state that somehow swung for Bush. Remember that? And that's part of the problem. It seemed a little off and a little convenient that the presidential candidate had a brother who was the governor of the state that was going to decide if he got elected as president or not. And he did. It's funny how those things work out. So yes, you can bring that up and say Democrats bitched too and drug stuff out. They did it that one time. That one time was a major thing. Other than that, each party has their squabbles about an election and about election interference or tampering or whatever. But it's all bullshit because it never amounts to anything. Because there isn't any fucking grand scheme to rob people of their votes and change shit. And there's always going to be a little bit of fraud, and it's always going to be on a scale so small, it's not going to matter. So, save your comments about the Gore-Bush election debacle. This is totally different. We are in times right now that are totally different and totally combustible. It just takes the slightest stupid fucking comment from one side to cause everything to blow up in our faces. So, Republicans, shut the fuck up. Okay? And I'll leave you with a final thought on that. It can't be rigged only if you lose. Okay? Either the fucking process is corrupt or it's not. You don't think You don't think people who vote Republican are capable of tampering with shit and swinging votes to another side? Okay? Shut up. You can't have it both ways. I'm sick of people trying to have it both ways. Pick a fucking stance and stick with it. You want to be a conspiracy theorist? Then own it. I'll respect you more. Anyway, I get that off my chest. It's colder than a well digger's asshole out here, and my puppies are upset because I didn't put their sweaters on, so we gotta go back home. I will talk to you guys later.